the Fun Belt. A ton of fun schools, as the name suggests, in this conference. James Madison is the odds-on favorite to win the conference this year with the best quarterback in the conference. And honestly, I think he's the best quarterback in all of the group of four, or not group of four, group of five schools for me. Alonzo Barnett the third, true dual threat, 26 touchdowns. He ran for 7 last year. If video games meaning anything to you, he's an 86 overall, which is very high for a quarterback. But they are the favorites to win this conference this year, and they deserve to have that right. Other potential quarterbacks to look to, Gata, J.C. French. He went to Blessed Trinity, which is a high school near me. It's in Roswell, Georgia. I wish Thomas was here. He's very high on J.C. French, but he's also high on anyone who is a Golden Eagle. So Gata has a chance potentially this year. Other quarterbacks as well. Jalen Raynor out of Arkansas State is someone to look out for. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the conference. He's a pocket passer. The other one would be Southern Miss, who we'll see on ESPN at 11 a.m. or noon kickoff for Eastern in Hattiesburg playing the Bulldogs. Braylon Braxton, transfer from Marshall, as much of the Southern Miss Golden Eagles are. True dual threat, and he's one of the best quarterbacks in the conference to go along with Alonzo Barnett and Jalen Raynor. We'll be seeing him against our Bulldog defense, and it'll be a huge kind of test, I think. Is that part of the reason you have concern? Are you high on Braylon Braxton, sir?
I honestly could not have told you who that was. I don't know the Southern Miss roster like the back of my hand, unfortunately.
Yes, that is fair because it is a completely new roster. The one big thing that I don't understand, the concern with us losing that game, is pull up the odds. Southern Miss is bottom 4 in the odds to win the Sun Belt. And if we're going to lose to a bottom 4 team in the Sun Belt, we got bigger fish to fry. As Tucker said earlier in the chat, we will be looking for a new head coach.
This is true.
At that point. So we're 13.5-point favorites the last time I checked. I would be surprised if that line has moved. We're not losing that game. I don't understand the concern. In fact, I think that'll be a big momentum boost to beat a in-state rival.
How favored were we against Toledo?
I think we were 10.5. We were
Okay.
10.5-point favorites, which is a big difference, and we also had home field advantage in that. So I think that plays a large piece into that. And Southern Miss, I think, completely new roster, new coach. I think will play a factor towards us. And we are just we're a better roster than we were last year.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah,
and I don't want to make the Sun Belt like let's talk Mississippi State, during the Sun Belt preview, but I think that
we're state pod.
Whilst this is true, Southern Miss does
ways.
have a new roster. It's also like the same roster, just picked up, moved over, and set down, and it's a roster that won 10 games last year. And so, while that was against lower it was against the Sun Belt.
But surely it's not the entire. There's gonna be moving pieces, and there's a learning curve in a new place.
Yes, there is.
It's not. I get it. It's not entirely the same.
And you were in
people
new
who
uniforms.
People who are who are hammering me, like you, and then people on Twitter who we were winning that game by 20, by 30. I'm like, I think we should. I just personally think we should slow down. I don't think that that's a game that we should just be moving on to week 2 against Arizona State. Because I think that's how you lose it. It's by acting like you've already won it.
I get that, and I'm in the expectations conversation.
This is a dangerous place for us to be.
I'm on the lower end of it, especially for State. But we're not losing that game. And go ahead and lock it in. We've won. And I think we'll win by multiple touchdowns. I think we'll cover that spread. In fact, I've already bet it. We're going to cover that spread because I bet it. And I'm a semi-professional gambler. But I think they changed uniforms. This is a joke, but, imagine you going from shirts to wearing a penny. That's a big difference in angle ball.
Huge difference.
Jack, no penny versus penny. I'd be interesting to run the numbers on
I am much more comfortable not
that.
wearing a penny.
I think in my last 3 years of angle ball, I've worn the penny almost every single time I've played.
Because when I split against you, I give it to you because I hate wearing the penny.
I just take them. I like wearing them.
Yeah, so Southern Miss has to go from wearing sick neon greenish uniforms to black and gold, which is only cool for me because I like black and gold. 'Cause
I
that's what
love
my high
Southern
school
Miss's
was.
color scheme.
All right, so you're just a golden eagle apparently.
No, I just represent my state.
Should have gone
To
to Southern
continue on
Miss.
with the Sun Belt, because why would we talk about a school that's bottom 4 in the odds this much? James Madison, the Dukes are up there. South Alabama, while they lost their starting quarterback Gio Lopez to North Carolina.
Yep.
Zach Pyron is actually pretty good. And
Agreed.
I think he'll be good for the Jaguars. If I was to pick anyone outside of James Madison, I'd pick Gata. And if I was to pick anyone outside of Gata, I'd pick South Alabama to win the conference this year. Another quarterback I haven't mentioned yet, Colton Joseph, true dual threat. He's also one of the best in the conference, and he's white as well as a dual threat, which goes like it's on the Parker Navarro. It's just cool to watch a
So
white,
you have
white guy ball.
5 quarterbacks as one of the best quarterbacks in
I've
the
got
conference?
four.
So
Four
the,
out of a
the
big
quarterback
conference.
on the team most favored, or the favorite, James Madison, is not one of the best quarterbacks.
No,
in
he
the
says
conference.
the best of
He
the
is
group
the
of 5.
best.
Okay, I want to give.
He's the
Oh.
best in the group.
I
want
want to give some information about Alonzo Barnett, though. Okay, because he suffered a bad.
Can
knee.
I mention one name?
Yes,
Goose Crowder, quarterback at Troy. Sick, just a sick thing.
that is
That
a
is
sick
fire.
name. So Alonzo Barnett suffered a pretty bad knee injury, right? And so a lot of reports are coming out that Matthew Sluka is currently QB1 in the room, partially because it's going to be a long rehab process for Barnett, and there even has been considerations of him just redshirting a year to preserve the year of eligibility, so that he can play for them next year. So it's not necessarily a thing of they like. Alonzo Barnett was fantastic for them. Why would he not be QB1? But it's a health thing. He's not been able to play. Matthew Sluka, UNLV guy, showed that he can play pretty well last year. And so
Mhm.
there's a chance that Sluka ends up starting or at least playing some at the start of the season because of Barnett's health. It's the group of 5. I struggled to find like concrete information on it. But
Oh, yeah.
multiple kind of reports, including some James Madison student news thing, was talking about it, at least from spring practice
Well,
and
that's a
whatnot.
reputable source.
That's a reputable source. I mean, think of Will. Like he's a reputable
Yes,
source because he
correct.
was in there, and even with the news, like they have been to practices and such.
All I'm saying, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I read into that and I
Mhm.
saw that, so I forgot to mention it, but that is the reason I didn't pick James Madison. I was gonna pick the Dukes, to be the school I was gonna go with. That was gonna be my fun pick and not Boise State.
Yeah.
Sure. But I think he's gonna start because I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, he
James
was-
Madison's student news that's a funny
Yeah.
one though.
He was that good last year, and Tucker does make also a good point that Sluka played with James Madison's head coach at Holy Cross, so there is at least familiarity there. So he can also come in and win it from that standpoint of like, you can be like, well, Barnett's not healthy, but all the other guys are new. Well, Sluka kind of already has a step up, not on Barnett, but like in terms of other people
But he's
being
wearing new
new.
uniforms. Don't forget, he's wearing new uniforms.
Sure, but that's a fire purple.
He is wearing new.
James Madison's got some
It
good
is.
unis.
It is. That's half the reason I'm picking them is because their purple's kind of sick.
I'm picking them because they won 9 games last year. They won 11 the year before. And in a conference that's had a lot of parity, they've kind of put themselves up at the forefront.
They're
of
also new to the FBS, right?
Some of that,
Like,
yes.
Yes, I
The
think
one that's they went 11-1 in their first year.
Mhm.
They've come in
with
kind
Kurt
of.
Signetti.
Yes, he's left, but they've come in and kind of rolled this conference. Not necessarily won it every year, but they've put themselves in position,
Yes.
like down to the wire to win it.
Oh,
So that's why I'm going with them.
Last
again.
year they had an outside chance if Boise State were to kind of stumble to potentially reach the playoff. I had them ranked. I think 3 of the last 4 weeks in our top 25. This is a good team, and they have returning. If Alonzo Barnett plays, there's a chance I'll have them in my top 25 to start the year. I think they're that good from a roster perspective.